तो आजकल जैसे इंडस्ट्री में यूनिवर्स का बहुत ज्यादा ट्रेंड चल रहा है, तो क्या हम एनिमल तो यूनिवर्स में एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं?
There's one guy who one CBI officer comes actually, but I wanted to show that in the part 2. तो इसलिए इधर ऐड नहीं किया मैंने.
जैसे आपकी अगली फिल्म प्रभास सर के साथ है स्पिरिट, वो पॉप किड्स है, ये कोई गैंगस्टर है, तो क्या स्पिरिट और एनिमल साथ आ सकते हैं?
One CBI comes behind Ranbir actually, but I felt like I'll use him in the part 2 like a surprise, like what happened here.
इसे कभी सोचा नहीं, but if it is there, I'll let you reveal.
What if I told you the worlds of animal and spirit are about to violently collide, setting the stage for one of the most unpredictable cinematic universes in Indian cinema history?
You're goddamn right.
What if Sandeep Reddy Vanga has secretly been building his own dark, violent cinematic universe and Ranbir Kapoor's animal is about to walk straight into Prabhas's spirit?
His next film is with Prabhas, so if he has a small role for me, I would love to be part of that also.
Recently, reports suggested that Ranbir Kapoor is expected to make a cameo appearance in Sandeep Reddy Vanga's upcoming film, Spirit, starring Prabhas. The cameo is being described as potentially historic because it would be the first time Ranbir Kapoor and Prabhas would share the screen. The rumor is that this cameo occurs at a very crucial point in the story and might directly tie Spirit to Vanga's earlier film, Animal, effectively turning them into parts of one cinematic universe in which the emotional tone, the characters, and the violent world of Animal bleed into Spirit. On top of that, filming for Spirit officially began with a Muhurat ceremony on November 23, 2025, with Chiranjeevi Garu in attendance as a chief guest. Beyond that, the team has been very secretive about the plot and casting surprises, which only fuels more speculation.
Is Spirit going to be another wild, free film?
I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, but I'll be free while writing.
In this video, we are diving deep into the rumored cameo of Ranbir Kapoor in Spirit and asking a crazy but exciting question. If this news is true, how could Animal, Spirit and Animal Park all be connected into one massive universe? Before we start, an important disclaimer. This video is a work of art and pure speculation. We are just connecting dots, building theories and having fun as fans. There is no official confirmation of Ranbir Kapoor's cameo in Spirit from the makers as of now. Everything you are about to hear is based on reports and creative imagination. If you enjoy theory videos and cinematic universe breakdowns, hit that like button and let's jump in.
बहुत लोग बोलते हैं कि cops नहीं है, cops जहाँ हैं वहाँ हैं. Because I don't want cops to be involved in this particular process. Body double मरने के बाद you see lots of cops there. But there's no cop who interferes him in between the job.
One of the biggest criticisms of Animal, apart from the usual debates, was the complete absence of law enforcement. Rannvijay kills people in broad daylight, he blows up an entire floor of his hotel, there are gunfights, bloodbaths and chaos, but nothing really happens to him. No big law enforcement response that matches the scale of his crimes. A lot of people came out of the theatre asking this very question, and Spirit could become the perfect answer to that criticism.
There's one guy who one CBI officer comes actually, but I wanted to show that in the part 2. तो इसलिए इधर ऐड नहीं किया मैंने. One CBI comes behind Ranbir actually, but I felt like I'll use him in the part 2 like a surprise, like what happened here.
Imagine if Prabhas's character in Spirit is that missing piece from Animal, the officer who comes after Rannvijay. Instead of treating Animal and Spirit as completely unrelated films, imagine them as two sides of the same story. Animal shows us Rannvijay's perspective, the son, the lover, the violent protector, the man driven by obsession and twisted love.
सुनाई दे रहा है बेरा नहीं हूँ मैं.
But Spirit could be the system's response. It could be the story of the one law enforcement officer who finally says, enough is enough.
Right from my childhood, I just have one bad habit.
In that version, all the questions people had after watching Animal suddenly become the setup and Spirit becomes the payoff. In that scenario, Ranbir's cameo in Spirit doesn't just become fan service, it becomes a narrative correction. We could see Rannvijay briefly in Spirit in a flashback, a news report, an interrogation video, or even a short direct encounter. We see Prabhas's character watching footage of the hotel explosion, looking at crime scene photographs, hearing about the victims, and reading reports about what Rannvijay did. That one scene immediately tells us that the events of Animal are canon in the world of Spirit. Suddenly, the criticism, where was the police, transforms into this is the story of the man who finally answers that question. We already have two key characters overlapping that could make this connection even richer. First, Tripti Dimri, Her character in Animal remains a huge enigma, and Vanga could easily reveal that she had a tragic connection to the world of spirit, perhaps as an informant who got in too deep. In Animal, she already plays the role of a mole. She seduces, infiltrates, and passes information, operating in that dangerous grey zone between intimacy and betrayal. Now imagine if that same character or a very similar version of her is tied to Prabhas's world in spirit. Maybe she was once a key informer for the police or the intelligence network that Prabhas's honest cop belongs to. Maybe she was working on both sides, connected to the criminal world of Rannvijay and the law and order world of spirit, and gets crushed in between. Also note that after Deepika Padukone was reportedly out of spirit, the story of the female character was leaked, and there were whispers that Vanga might have to change the story. He could either rework the character completely or take the easy meta route and call it body double. Literally hand-waving the change as a concept within the story itself. But this is also one of the biggest reasons why I personally feel the full-fledged universe might not happen. The female lead's arc being leaked and reshuffled could force structural changes that make long-term universe planning harder.
So it's not going to be easy, it's going to be really hard.
Let's table that for now and stay with the theory. Second, Upendra Limaya's character, Freddy. Freddy is already plugged into the world of crime, violence and power structures in Animal. He understands how the underworld works, who pulls the strings, and how systems are bent for power. On the other hand, Prabhas's character in spirit is that of an honest cop. So on one side, you have someone committing crimes, manipulating networks, and feeding the beast. And on the other, you have someone whose entire identity is built around preventing crime and cleaning up this rot. Freddy becomes the perfect human bridge between the two films. He could be the one who connects the criminal networks from Animal to the investigations in spirit, either as a target, an informant, or a survivor who has watched men like Rannvijay and the cops operate from close quarters. Then there's Vivek Oberoi, who has been cast as a villain in spirit, which opens up a whole new speculative lane. What if his character isn't just a random antagonist, but is actually tied to Abrar's family from Animal? We already know Abrar's world is full of cousins, brothers, and extended family operating across different regions and rackets. We have already seen a glimpse of Aziz in the post-credits of Animal. Imagine if Vivek Oberoi plays one of Abrar's cousins, a man running a parallel criminal empire in a different city whose path never directly crosses Rannvijay's in Animal, but whose actions are part of the same larger web of violence. In spirit, Prabhas's honest cop could be going after this cousin, dismantling his network piece by piece. Adding to this is the presence of Seok, the Korean actor who is also part of the spirit cast. His inclusion hints at an international or cross-border dimension to the crime world in spirit. So while Animal is about Rannvijay versus Aziz, Spirit becomes about Prabhas's character versus another branch of that same family tree, potentially backed by or intersecting with an international network represented by Seok's character. You then have two parallel crossover stories running side by side. The connection between these strands doesn't have to fully collide immediately. They can slowly converge and meet only at their explosive intersection in Animal Park. If that's actually the long-term plan, then Animal Park could bring all of this crashing together. By the time we reach Animal Park, Rannvijay's legend is fully established. Prabhas's cop has battled his own villain. Maybe the surviving members of Aziz's family comes after both men. Maybe Rannvijay and the cop are forced into the same arena as enemies, reluctant allies, or two forces that cannot coexist. Suddenly, the idea of a Vanga-verse isn't just about cameos, it becomes about long-term storytelling where every film pushes the universe towards one inevitable collision. In that sense, Sandeep Reddy Vanga wouldn't just be creating a plot-based universe, he would be creating a thematic universe. To be absolutely clear again, all of this is speculative. Everything you have heard in this video should be treated as a fan theory. Still, suppose even a small part of this comes true, in that case, we might be watching the birth of one of the most intense, violent, and emotionally charged cinematic universes in Indian cinema.
It was perfect. Perfect.
If you enjoyed this deep dive and are interested in watching more, check out the second episode of our debut films, The Director's Playbook series, featuring Aditya Dhar's Uri, right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.